everyone. My name is Tamara, and this is episode 49 of the Caffeinated Craft Mamas podcast. My podcast all about my crafty life in Southwest Missouri, where I live with my partner Richard, our 3 kids, and our dog. How are you guys? Today was my first day back at work after spring break. It has been about 5 weeks since I've talked to you guys. I actually have a lot to share, so we're going to go ahead and get started. If you would like to follow me on social media, please feel free to do so. I'm really only active over on Instagram. I am the caffeinated_craft_mama. And I do use Ravelry on occasion. I am Tamara Melton 2011 over on Ravelry. I also have an Etsy shop where I make project bags, and I actually have some new bags for the shop this time. So I have 2 of each of these bags in the shop, and then I also have some other bags in there. But I got a Qatar themed fabric. These will have drawstrings. And then they have 2, they're hard to see because they're black, but there are 2 interior pockets in there. And set that one down. This one's my favorite. I'm probably going to order more of this. I got this fabric from Spoonflower, if they have more. And then 2 pockets in here. So I've got 2 of these. So there is a link to my Etsy shop down below in the description if you would like one of those bags. If I sell out of them and you are interested in one of those bags, send me a DM on Instagram and we can talk about it. Okay, well, I'm wearing my finished object. This is my whateverish sweater, which is now known as my snow day sweater. This is basically a cross between the Whatever Sweater by Julie Knits in Paris and the Flax sock pattern by TinCanKnits. I used the minis that I received for my stash event advent swap that my friends and I did this last year, and then I had some Royal Cascade Heritage that I did in between. And I am calling this my snow day sweater because I wore this to school the day after I finished it, and it snowed that evening. Thankfully, it was not enough snow to cancel school because we would have had to tack that day on to the end of the year. Y'all, I have 44 more alarms to go, and I am done with this school year, so I was thankful we didn't have to add an extra alarm there. So, yeah, it was a long day today. I am drinking Waterloo cherry limeade. I couldn't remember if it was cherry lime or cherry limeade. This one's one of my favorites. I love this one. If you're trying to get off soda, I recommend those. Okay, so we are going to get started. I have whips to talk about. I have a project that I just started a swatch that I want to talk about. I have spinning to talk about, and I have acquisitions to talk about. So we're just going to jump right in. I made some progress on my Salty Air Tea. This is a pattern by Samantha Guerin. Yarn is Yarn Dragon Fibers. I got to see her at Eureka recently. So I was right here. So I've done both of the sleeves and all of that. I'm just helical knitting now. Quite honestly, I really need to get this done. My cousin is getting married. One of my cousins. I have several. One of my cousins is getting married May 10th, and their wedding shower is April 14th. April 13th or April 14th, one or the other. So I'm debating trying to get this finished so I could wear it to either one, the wedding or the wedding shower. So yeah, I love this pattern, guys. It's beautiful. It's fun to make. I just really like it. I really do. This is my second one of these, and there will be a third for sure. I really like this pattern. Okay, put that up. And I have a significant amount of yarn left, so, I'll probably I'm hoping to get down to my waist, but we'll see. Living in a bag I got off Etsy years ago. My little owls, because I live in Halloween all year round. I'm not a Swiftie. I'm sorry to anyone that just broke their heart, but I'm not a Swiftie. But I kind of want a sweatshirt that says in my spooky era, even though I'm not a Swiftie. I don't know. Is that like hypocritical of me to wear a sweater like that when I'm not a Taylor Swift fan? Let me know. Okay. Next up is my Harvest cardigan. I have finished one sleeve and picked up the other and done a couple decreases. So this is another pattern by TinCanKnits. So here is one sleeve. If you are wondering, all of those stitch markers are decreases. I put a stitch marker for every decrease because I'm horrible at counting the rows. So it helps me. And then I count the stitch markers on this side and I know exactly how many I need for this side. So if I have extra stitch markers left, I didn't do enough decreases. It's just easier on my brain to do that. Hang on, I'm stuck. So yeah, I've got a little way in the sleeve. And I am really enjoying this. I'm not rushing through it. Mostly just because it's getting warmer. I'm not gonna be able to wear it anyway. So why rush, right? But it's really pretty. I love how it looks on camera. And that's pretty true in life too, like how it looks. Look at that tweed. Okay, this is Queensland Collection Recycled Tweed. And this is the colorway Rosewood. So I really like it. It's like a dusky purple color. In true Tamra fashion, I am not using the correct weight of yarn. I'm not using the correct needles. I'm basically just making this pattern up as I go. Because that's just kind of what I do. So yeah, it's going to be really pretty. Really pretty. I'm excited. I have several balls of this left. I probably won't use all the yarn in this sweater. And I did make sure that the sleeve, because I've been, oh, I have short arms, I can shorten the sleeve. I got in trouble for this the other day on the Zoom. So see, guys, okay, there's my armpit, goes all the way down. That's without blocking. So it'll fit. Had to prove that to some people. Okay. Let's see. Next, we're going to talk about my socks. I haven't gotten a lot of sock knitting done. I took these to St. Louis. I worked on the Salty Air Tea when I was the passenger princess. But when we were just walking around and like one kid would want to go into one exhibit, like the bug house, and other kids wouldn't. So mom would take some and I would stay out. And so I got some knitting done. So I was here where my little Harry Potter stitch marker is last time you guys saw it. So I got the heel done. I need to work on this at home because I had only a 50-gram ball and I need to know how far up the leg I can go so that I don't run out of yarn. So yeah, it's the only bummer about not doing them two at a time. So I should have this sock finished next time. I think I'm going to order some of this. This is Mint Rain Yarn that does this yarn. I think I'm going to order some of this for my sister and knit her a pair of socks out of this for her birthday. So we'll see. She likes hand knit socks and she is a huge Harry Potter fan. So, or she was. I mean, she still watches them, but. Okay. Let's see. Last whip. Oh, I guess I have two. Technically, one's just a swatch, but okay. I know someone who's having a baby, so I have started the Meadowland Baby Afghan. I will pop a picture in here of what it will look like. And in the pattern, you're supposed to do Lion Brand Mandala. Well, I had Guerin 1 pound. I had a ball of this blue left over from my cousin's Afghan. And then I have this gray. So 2 of the triangles in this blanket, so when you see the picture, it'll make sense. But it's constructed with 4 triangles. So 2 of the triangles will be solid blue, and 2 of the triangles will be blue and gray. Normally, I would crochet an Afghan. I've not knit too many blankets. Outside of my Cozy Memories blanket, I don't think I've ever knit one before. But I messed up my wrist at work. And while knitting has been fine, I've been sleeping in a brace. That's been helping. Crocheting, I just can't do it. And a lot of it has to do with how I crochet, and I know that. But I can only last like 15, 20 minutes. And I can't even make like a whole granny square. It really stinks. So, yeah, it's not been fun. Yeah, so there is one triangle. This project, you can see my little tail of my triangle because it decreases. This project's probably going to live at work. I took it to work, worked on it, brought it home, and then realized, duh, you should have just left it there. Like, you don't need to take it home every day. So this is probably going to live at work. When I do my April episode, I'll bring it home so you guys can see it. And my fun stitch markers, needle stoppers, Holly got me for Christmas. Aren't they cute? Okay. And this is living in my giant knitting backpack. If you don't have one of these, I recommend them. They're great. Okay. All right, last up is a swatch, but we're going to talk about it for a minute because you guys haven't seen this yarn in a hot minute. So last year I got the Crescent City advent calendar from Emily of Fangirl Fibers. And I loved it. It's beautiful. And I just couldn't decide what I wanted to do with it. Because I didn't, and this is not a knock against anybody that does this, but I didn't want to put it in a blanket. And some people, that's what they buy them for, and that's fine. But I didn't want them in a blanket. So I decided to totally mess with the pattern because, again, that's what I do. I'm going to knit the Stria pattern. I'll put a picture in here by Andrea Mowry. But my striping sequence is going to be very different. So in this pattern, you stripe a big chunk of your main color and a teeny tiny little stripe of your contrast color. So what I'm wanting to do is do a bigger stripe of my contrast color and then a smaller stripe of my main color. Because I'm hoping not to repeat the colors is what I'm trying to avoid. So I have them all sorted out here. Here's one bag of them. Sorry though, because of the bag, the lighting's not great, but here's another. I got them all wound up like a good little girl. And here's my third bag. So those are all my minis, waiting patiently to be used. I have the gray that I'm going to use is Corroded Coffin, Fangirl Fibers. So just this dark kind of graphite color. And then, let's see. Sorry, I'm putting all this back. I have all the yarn in the bag it came with, which I just thought was the best. So I have a teeny tiny little swatch. Guys, I had to go up 2 needle sizes. That's not super uncommon for me, but it still kind of stinks. And it's probably not going to be big enough. So I may have to go up a size in the pattern because I'm not going up any more needle sizes. It calls for a US 2. This is a 4. So, yeah. And I mean, it's rib. It's fisherman's rib. It'll stretch, but yeah. So I'm going to play around with the striping sequence a little bit, see how far I can get 120 gram mini to go, because I don't want to run out. I don't know. I'm probably just going to do 4 rows. I got a little big for my britches because I was like, oh, I could do 6 rows. I could do 6 rows. But I think the more I think about it, I'm just going to do 4. And if I end up with a bunch of leftovers, I'll just throw them into one of my scrappy blankets. I would rather have too much yarn left over than not enough yarn left over and my stripes be messed up. I would have to rip the sweater back. That's not something my poor little brain can handle. So, yeah, it just wouldn't work. So, and I also have this color. I know I showed you guys the 12. This was the full skein. So I don't mind. I'm probably going to start and end with this one. So I will have 14 stripes. I figure if I double them up, that'll give me enough length because in the pattern, Andrea does 4 different colors, but she has 18 stripes in the body. So if I do double the width of each stripe, so instead of 2 rows, I'm doing 4, it'll work out. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's just yarn, guys. It's just yarn. I've put way too much thought into this. So yeah, there is that project, and it's living in a Trader Joe's bag that someone gave me forever ago because we don't have a Trader Joe's here. I did get to go to Trader Joe's this week, but we don't have one here. So, since I hurt my arm, there's no crocheting. Which is why I said crafting at the beginning of the video, because I mean, I had sewing this week. I had a lot of knitting this week, or this month. I've got spinning to talk about, but there's no crochet for a while. Okay, so spinning. This kind of goes with acquisitions. Oh, hang on just a second. I haven't seen you guys in a long time. I forgot. Okay. I made yarn. If you follow me on Instagram, you guys have seen these. I made yarn, guys. Look. I did it. These are destined to be little chickies. If you follow Amber, you know. If you don't follow Amber, you should. So yeah, these are little chickies. So I, of course, hopped on this train, you know, like a crazy person. I'm still borrowing Amber's e-wheel. I will be ordering my own at the end of the school year. So then I spun up. This is wool of the Andes. So these are 2 bobbins with wool of the Andes. It's just a great color. So originally I spun this up because I wanted to ply it with fiber that I got at Eureka Springs, or I was planning on getting at Eureka Springs. And I found the fiber. It's beautiful. Sorry for the crinkling. This is 100% organic Polworth. This is by Deep Dyed Yarn. The colorway is multiplayer. Guys. So I picked this up. Originally, I picked up a different one. And Amber took it out of my hand because she was like, that's not a tamara color, that's an amber color. And she was right, it's an amber color. But I really love that the teal matches my hair. Can we just talk about that for a second? Anyway, so I started spinning this, and I wanted to ply it with the wool of the Andes. Well, Polworth and wool of the Andes are very different. And I have been able to spin this much thinner than I did the wool of the Andes. So I'll show you guys the wheel. I've decided to try to do what's called a fractal spin. So what I did was I split the braid in 2, and then I am currently spinning long color repeats. So I'm just taking the bits of fluff and spinning it into these really, really long color repeats. And then I will take the other half of the braid, which is what I just showed you, and I will split it into thirds or fourths, and I will spin really short color repeats, and then when I apply them together, it will give me that barber pole look. So here's what I have on the wheel right now. It's in timeout because I kept breaking it. But so you can see I have really long color repeats, where when I do the next one, it'll be like boom, 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 boom color. So yeah, I am enjoying this a whole lot more than I thought I would. Um, I always said I would never spin yarn. I would never spin yarn. I'm hoping to get enough yardage out of this in that barber pole to or fractal spin, excuse me, to be able to knit a grid gambit cowl. I really want to do that. This with some gray would just be gorgeous. So we will see how long that takes me to accomplish that, but it will be done. And Amber said she would be nice enough to bring over her bigger spinning wheel. If at the rate I'm going, I will have my own spinning wheel, and I'll just have to take those off the bobbin and ply them onto my new wheel so that Amber can have her nano back. But that's the plan for that. So, okay, we're going to hop over into acquisitions. So that's pretty much all the crafting. If that's what you're here for, I will see you later. If not, if you want to see what I got at Eureka Springs, stick around. And I will put in some pictures as I'm talking of Eureka Springs, the Fiber Festival. And Amber and I get to go to another one in July. It's in Lebanon, so it's actually closer to us. And yeah, it's gonna be good. So I told you guys I got to see Yarn Dragon Fibers. And Yarn Dragon Fibers started, well, she did a show colorway. So this is Prism. This was the show colorway for Eureka Springs. But not only did I get it in sock yarn for Mom and I to make each pair of socks, because we did that last year, I got it in fluff. This is Rambouillet, and it is 4 ounces, and I have never spun Rambouillet, so this should be fun. Yeah, so I got the fluff and the yarn. I was really excited to see her. It was fun. And I got that Polworth. I got a Rogue Skein t-shirt. I thought that was cool. And then Apothecary was there. If you put Tamara in a braid, I mean, oh, so pretty. It wasn't staying there. It was coming home with me. I have no clue what this is going to grow up to be. I think it's just going to sit in my stash and let me hug it for a while. Because I definitely want to have the bigger yarn bobbins. The spinning wheel that I will be getting holds are 8-ounce bobbins, where I currently am working with 2-ounce bobbins. So it will give me the ability to spin an entire skein of yarn or entire braid on one bobbin, which is pretty cool. So I won't have to cut it and ply it. And the Nano has its place, don't get me wrong. It's a very good beginner spinning tool, but I can definitely see the appeal of getting I believe I'm getting the 6.0, I think. So yeah, let's just look at that one more time. Isn't it beautiful? So yeah, it was a really good time. Amber and my mom and I went. We met some friends from our local yarn store down there. We went to a barbecue place for lunch, and then we went to a thrift store, and then we drove home. So it was a good day out. I really needed the day out, and it was really exciting. We'll just hop over into Life and Junk now and talk about that. I had my trip to Eureka, and then it was spring break. So Mom and I took the kids to St. Louis, to the St. Louis Zoo. And so we had fun there. They were doing the Japanese Lantern Festival, so I'll pop some photos in of us there. And then we went to Trader Joe's and came home. That's a long one because it's a 3-hour trip up there. We spend, well, we usually spend about 3 or 4 hours at the zoo, about 45 minutes to an hour at Trader Joe's, and then we drive home all in one day. Um, Olivia went with us this time. She sometimes she doesn't like to go because she does get car sick and she's stuck in the back seat with the littles, but she went with us and it was really great. So, oh, I forgot some acquisitions, but I really want to show you guys this one. I don't think I've shown this to you. I don't care if I have. You need to see it again if you haven't. Do you see this? This is a dragon yarn bowl, you guys. I don't think I showed you guys my haul from Andy. So yeah, this is a dragon yarn bowl from Andy of the Naughty Knitress, and it's amazing. I haven't named it yet. It will have a name, but right now it's just sitting with my knitting stuff and looking pretty. Um, this is 3D printed. Isn't that amazing? It's purple in sunlight. It's the best thing ever. She has some of these in her shop, so you should go and get one. And if you don't follow Andy, you should, because she is a great lady and she's extremely gifted when it comes to knitting and spinning and, just being a cool person. So, yeah, you should go give her a follow. Let's see, what else? Really, other than that, I sat on the couch a lot during spring break. Mom and I made some bags. I've got some more bags to make. Yeah, that's about it. Like I said, I have 44 alarms left till this school year is done. I'm ready and I'm not. I'm ready to I'm ready to send some of my kids on to the great thing that is kindergarten, and I'm also not ready to send some of my kids on. I am sure the last week of school I will be a hot mess because there are some of them that I'm going to dearly miss. It was so fun to come back today and all the hugs and the love and just everything that we were able to do and to see and to hear what they got to do. And I took pictures of certain animals when I was at the zoo because I thought of certain kids and I was like, oh, they would have wanted to see this. So I've really enjoyed this year, and this year has taught me a lot. So yeah, it'll be bittersweet when school is over. I am applying for summer school. I might teach, I might not. We'll see. And then in the fall, life's just going to get crazy because I am applying to go back to school. So I will hopefully be starting in August. So I will actually be a certified teacher eventually. So yeah, that's pretty much been my life. Um, Go to school, come home, sit in a vegetative state, um, disassociate towards the wall. But I am trying to do a little bit more crafting to help with some of that. Um, it's getting to be springtime here in Missouri. It's about time to start my garden. I'm doing a container garden this year, and we will see how that goes. I did not inherit the large green thumb that my cousin did from my grandfather. I am going to try though. The kids want to do strawberries. Of all things, they want to do potatoes, um, which is funny because none of them eat potatoes. But whatever, they want to grow them. They'll get them. It'll get them outside. It'll be fun. Jade wants to attempt carrots, so we're going to try carrots. There were a couple of other things they wanted to try. So I will have video and pictures of my container garden hopefully next month. The monthly podcast seems to be working pretty well, so that's probably what we're going to stick with. The only reason you guys didn't get one last Monday was because I knew we were going to go to the zoo, and with spring break, my kids weren't gone. So I didn't have as much videoing time, really. So yeah, that's about it. I should probably get off here so I can go let Olivia out of her room. She's hiding upstairs in her bedroom with the dog so I can get this recorded. And the other kids are at Bible study. So, yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys later. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you're still watching, I appreciate you so much. And I will see you guys at the end of April. Bye!